Bill and I want to take just a few minutes, tell you about the Global Leadership Summit and this incredible group of leaders and experts that have agreed to join us this year. Well, Bill, last year we had a record attendance at the summit, about 150,000 leaders in 476 countries, or actually 476 cities, 82 countries, many languages. And I know many of the people that are tuning in have been to a summit, but many have not, maybe haven't heard of it. You know, it's our 17th year doing this. I know your schedule. It's quite packed. Last thing it needs is another conference. Why do you care so much about the summit every year?
I actually think about the summit as the most important thing on my schedule, so I don't tack it on to the end. It's front and center. Leadership matters in every organization, business, military, athletics, church, NGOs. You know, as a leader gets better, everything gets better. I like to say when a leader gets better, everyone wins. Yeah. The team wins. The constituents win. The culture wins. So it's all about making leaders better. And my experience is when you gather leaders in a room and you put a fantastic faculty in front of them and they teach well and they stir up the action a little bit, God uses that every single time. I've never seen it not work. So it's the highlight of my year. I put it on my calendar first.
And Bill, you don't just, to that point of just real practicality, you're not just encouraging leaders to come to the summit and you prepare talks for the summit. Like, you lead this church. I mean, how are you using the summit in your own challenge of leading this church?
Yeah, well, I am doing that, I assure you. And so, you know, I give a couple talks at the summit, but the whole rest of the time, I'm sitting in my seat taking notes, learning from these people. I have my entire staff. It's mandatory. Every single full and part-time staff member at Willow Creek must be a part of the summit. It's a part of their leadership development. I try to get every leader in our church to come, and I mean business about it. How is our church going to move ahead unless its leaders are fired up, same page, same vision, same values, moving all together? So I take it very seriously.
So it's incredible to see what's going to happen when people are intentional about carving out that time. And I just know from past experience, every time we create space for God to work, He does. He shows up.
It's like I said earlier, I do leadership training and leadership coaching all around the world, as you know, and lots of cities and environments. I have never seen God not work when we gather some leaders together and we talk about the subject matter. It's almost, you know, a theological covenant of some sort is the way I think about it in my mind. It's like God says, Bill, if you'll gather leaders together and try to train them, I'll show up every time because leadership matters. Yeah. You know, the local church is the hope of the world, but the future of it rests primarily in the hands of its leaders. And so if we want to see churches reach their full potential, leaders have to get better.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Bill, for your comments and for joining us here. I know that I don't think either of us realized some 18 years ago when we had that very simple conversation in your office about starting the Leadership Summit that it would have this kind of a broad reach and appeal all around the world. But I think I can speak for the both of us that as long as we sense that God is using it, we're going to commit to making it better every year.
Absolutely.